So then Bill and I were talking about, well, whose idea, who was that person that recommended Les? So I started out by calling Pete Poulos, and he referred me to John Fagg. And so when I called John, we're talking, this is an event a long time ago. So what he could remember is going to Les because he was an aviator and John Fagg had his private license. So he approached him, kind of intimidated, and he asked Les, would he like to be our class advisor? And here's what Les said: "What is a class advisor?" So that's how they started. So anyhow, he had eventually agreed, and so then John and Poulos were at our initial class meetings. They were the information for our class. We knew nothing, when we arrived, and so they had all the information. So they're the ones that put it to the class as an up and down vote. Would you like, Lieutenant Commander Les High as our class advisor? So anyhow, that's the background on that as I've been determined. So I was thinking of adding that into this little document since I made that remark.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I mean, we have Dick Rue in a video explaining to Les how he was selected. And Dick said it was Pete. But Del, as we talked about it, you said you'd call and get to the bottom of that, which you just did. Yeah, thanks.
Well, we're talking about what people can remember. And I talked to Pete, and he didn't, he referred me to John. I actually had, part of my memory was that maybe Les was in the summer program before that fall, and some of the 63 people saw him and recommended him to say John or Pete, but I don't think that's true. I don't think, but this can be verified. Les was not in the aviation program before he started that fall, I don't think. So that's an example of what, somebody thinks happened, but not really.
Well, actually, I remember not even knowing who you were. And the person who sold you the hardest was probably one of what I wouldn't call the best behaviors in our class, was Pete Poulos, who was one of the reverters, who just sold you very hard to be the class advisor.
Is that right?
Yeah, very. You never heard this before?
I see. I don't even know how I got selected.
Okay, well, that's what happened. And somebody, we had a couple of reverters. Who else did we have besides Poulos? We had another reverter who didn't make it. But Poulos argued very strongly that you would be just right. And which is interesting, because Pete was not really, your most military guy, as you know, and whereas you, of course, are the most military guy. So it's kind of both ends of the spectrum, and somehow it's working out. But in terms of your family life, going to dinner, and I had the occasion, I think at least twice. I was kind of unusual, and then I got over there a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Yeah,
That's good. Well, you probably accepted.
well, I did. But I remember, and I don't remember if you said, this is really silly, but then a lot of things I've said to you are silly. I don't know if you said we could unbutton our jackets, or if we could take them off. Do you remember what you allowed us to do?
I would probably let you take them off.
Okay, whatever it
I wouldn't let
was.
you wear it probably unbuttoned. So
Okay, whatever it was, I turned to whoever was sitting next to me and I said something seriously religious, like, "Holy shit!" It was like, wow, he's getting unchained. It's like he must be doing controlled substances or something. He's letting us take our jackets off. But I guess it was taking our jackets off. Right? That's what it was.
I probably never let you.
No, I don't think so.
I would let you take it off.
No, that wouldn't make any sense now that I think about it.
Well, no, it is true that people tell me that I do certain things. There's just something that I wouldn't let them do. See, and when they say, "Well, you let me wear the wrong colored socks," there's not a chance of that. See, so if they tell me that story, I
wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, that would
had to be somebody else who told me.
Right.
Anything else?
Oh, let me think. I just remember. Well, I remember being impressed that it almost didn't matter when we had the meeting, where we had the meeting. what the deal was or what personal inconvenience it was to you, you were on call for the meeting. And whenever we wanted you, I mean, you were there. And that was important. And it meant a lot to me. I know it meant a lot to everybody, but I got to tell you, you were a great guy. You are a great guy. Great guy.
Thank you.
So that was important. It was like having a parent away from home. It really was. And now, of course, this would be a kick-ass parent.
Yes, we know that.
Of course, who am I telling that to? I'm telling the choir. We are the choir.
They'll sing the same song, you know. They're right in tune with you. Well, that's nice. Thank you very much. Now, Kathy, do you remember the first time you remember seeing us? Or,
And then getting, after years, every year here comes the card. Oh, Dick, we got cards again. We didn't send them one. Well, we didn't send cards at all. Then they started to arrive with little pencils in them.
Wasn't that a little pleasant Christmas gift? No.
So then I really felt.
Were they golf pencils?
I think, well, they were little thin little things. They were either golf or bowling. But then you're all bowlers, so you.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember that. I remember sending you pencils.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I ever sent you any paper, but I just think
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can use the other side of your letter.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I was impressed with the dedication.
We did all of it.